Hey, what's up, cats and kittens? And shout out to all my cerebral lights. It's me, the Cerebral Diva. Um, I'm just hanging out around the house doing some stuff here, and I just wanted to take a break and talk to you guys for a little bit, if you don't mind. So this is just going to be a little random chit chat, just stuff that I'm sort of doing today. So give me a second here. I'm sorry, I'm getting text messages as we speak. All right. So I'll tell you guys a little bit about my day. So I woke up 4:30 a.m. I went to the gym. I worked out from about 4:30 till about maybe 6 o'clock. That's pretty much what I do 7 days a week. I usually go to the gym, usually anywhere between 4:30 and 5, and work out for about an hour to an hour and a half. Typically, I use the elliptical machine, and then I use the kettlebell to do squats. After that, what else do I do? Yeah, I'll walk on the treadmill for a little bit, maybe 15 minutes or so, depending on the time that I have left. So I went to the gym, I worked out, and then I started getting text messages from someone that I used to talk to a long time ago. Now, there was this guy who he works in. How do I say this? Well, I don't. He works in, I guess he's sort of special forces, if you will. So he's constantly deployed and doing stuff all over the world. And he called me about 2 years ago, right? So we've been corresponding. We've been talking for probably about 8 years. But we've never lived in the same state. So he called me about 2 years ago and said that he wanted to come see me again. And then he took it a step further and said, well, I want to come see you because I'm about to get married and I want to know if I'm making a mistake, so I need to see you one time before I get married. Now, I'm like, did he really just say that to me? Now, some women might be flattered and think, oh my gosh, he's so in love with me that even, on the eve of his marriage, he's thinking about me. For me, I'm like, no, that's bullshit. First of all, if you're about to get married, then be present in that out of respect to the woman that you're about to marry. Secondly, your fiance. Secondly, what makes you think that I want to be a pit stop on your way to marriage? That I want you to come by and take a sample of me before you decide to say I do. Like, what in the low self-esteem hell are you thinking? So, needless to say, I was not on board and that visit never happened. So, I haven't been talking to him. I really had nothing to say to him. I just thought it was completely tacky. And I didn't want any parts of it. So I discontinued communication with him, and he wound up finding me on my professional page on LinkedIn. So he found me on LinkedIn and started sending me messages telling me that, he wound up not getting married, things didn't work out, how unhappy he was, and how he had made a big mistake by not continuing to explore the possibility of things between he and I. And I don't know. There's a slight sense of validation that you get from hearing that, yeah, you made a mistake. But at the same time, I don't like feeling like I'm a plan B. You know what I mean? Like, why did it take that for you to understand how good of a woman that you lost? Like, why does the men have to fuck up to understand that they had a good thing? Why can't you just understand that when you have it? Because no matter what you do, I don't care what people say to you, it's like when you have that first big argument. You can apologize, you can atone, and do everything you possibly can to get things back on course, but something just is never 100% right. It's always just slightly off. And so now that he's coming back and trying to make a go at it again, I'm bored, so I'm slightly entertaining it. But I'll be honest, I don't really have a genuine interest. I just don't. Why don't I have a genuine interest? Because I don't. What do you mean I should give him another chance? Please. For me, if he's to get another chance, he's going to have to earn another chance. Because here's the thing. You can call me up and say all the sweet stuff that you want to. You can whisper in my ear, tell me how much you miss me, how much, you've been thinking about me, all that good stuff. I don't want to hear anything. At this point, once we've sort of parted, the only thing that's going to convince me would be your actions. Don't talk to me about anything. Don't talk to me about anything. Show me. Pretend like I'm from Missouri. Just show me. Because I think that's the problem, ladies. I think sometimes we're too eager to accept men back in our lives without making them have to work for it. I mean, people don't appreciate things unless they've had to go through hell and high water to get it. You have to make these men work. Work. It's like you'll see a girl. I had a girlfriend once who, she was cooking for this man, washing his clothes. I mean, she was doing every possible thing she could to quote unquote be this traditional, conventional woman for him. But he wound up dating a girl who couldn't cook, didn't clean, didn't do anything. So in the end, she wound up looking crazy, in my opinion, because you were doing all of this work for a man who really didn't appreciate it to begin with, because at the end of the day, he wound up with a woman who did none of those things. So for me, I've met guys, be like, when are you going to cook me dinner? No. The question is, when are you going to buy me dinner? When are you going to take me to dinner? Rule number 1 is never cook dinner for a man who's never bought you dinner. Ever. And let's say circumstances are such that you guys can't go out. If you have to cook him dinner, you make him go to the grocery store and buy all of the ingredients to cook the dinner. Don't you dare spend a dime cooking on a man who hasn't spent a dime on you. Do not do that. Okay? Under any circumstances, make these men work. Stop inviting these men over to your houses and letting them lay up with you without having to do anything to be there. Stop it. You know why I'm telling you to stop it? Because you make it hard for me. You make it hard for me. When you do stuff like that to these guys or for these guys, then they begin to put those expectations on me. When you give a guy your car keys after a week, and I wind up meeting him after you, he's expecting my car keys after a week. But guess what? He's not getting them. The bus stop is that away. It's that way. Now I'll drop you off. I'll give you a ride to the bus stop, but you will not be driving my car anywhere. Under any circumstances. So the reason I'm telling you to stop doing this for these men is a little selfish on my part, because I need you to stop making things hard for me when you guys put out on the first date. One of the first lessons my mother taught me was never have a wet coochie in a dry pocket. It just doesn't match. I need you guys to take that in. Do not have a wet coochie in a dry pocket. Okay, you cannot be out here sleeping with these men. What sense does it make to be able to be sleeping with men and not have enough money to pay your rent? Who does that? There's no possible way. For me, if I can't pay my rent, if I'm struggling to pay a bill, and the man is sitting in my face and he doesn't have some sort of contribution to that bill, I'm not even asking for him to have all of the money for the bill. If he can't contribute something to me, what am I doing with you? Look, the old adage goes, I can do bad by myself. I don't need no help to starve to death. And those are words I live by. You know what I mean? In the heat of the moment when your back is against the wall, the 11th hour, and you're trying to figure out how you're going to make ends meet. I've had guys say stuff to me like, you'll figure something out. oh, I will. You'll figure it out. Well, if I have to figure it out, then I need to be here figuring it out by myself. You can go. I don't need you trying to grab breasts and dig between my legs and all sorts of crazy stuff in the middle of a crisis. Back up off of me with all that. Please. But these men sometimes think that, and women are sexual beings too. Yes, we are sexual beings. We enjoy sex. We enjoy, that feeling. But at the same time, the majority of the time, or a lot of times when women are being sexually active, they're doing it out of obligation to a man and not necessarily because it's something they want. Because half the time the sex with dudes is horrible anyway. But because you love and care about a guy, sometimes you just concede and say, all right, I'll just go with it. So I'm saying to you girls out there, make these men work. Make them work. Please make them work. Make them earn it. Value yourself, because when you devalue yourself, it's not just about a devaluation of you. It's about a devaluation of women in general, because they begin to believe, like, sometimes you'll have men, like I've had men ask me to do some crazy stuff, like some porn star stuff in the bedroom. And I'm like, that porn star, Jenna Jameson, is making about $15,000 per scene. So if you want me to do some porn star shit, I need some porn star pay. Right? And that's why I think sometimes, I think every woman needs a hoe as a friend. I think every woman, excuse me, I think every woman needs to have a hoe as a friend. Like, your friend, your circle of friends needs to be all inclusive. You need to have someone who's super intelligent. You need to have someone who's deeply spiritual. You need to have someone who's familial and domestic and family oriented. You need to have someone who's the party girl, and you need to have a hoe in your circle of friends. Hoes will let you know how men really think, because the pathology of men is completely polarized to the way that women think. Men think about sex as just sex, and women sometimes, and I see that changing a lot, where women are actually being able to see sex as sex. But I don't think that we're quite there yet. Excuse me. So until we get there, you have to be smarter about how you interact with these men, because what you do does not just affect you. It affects and infects the entire female species. We all have to pick up the pieces, because when he goes from dealing with a girl to dealing with a grown woman, that transitional point of having to, get him caught up to what a woman expects, it's a very difficult learning curve for women to go through. I don't want to have to teach this man. He should have been taught before he got to me. And let me tell you something else, what I've stopped doing. When a man comes to me and he is not together, the old me used to try to sort of build a bear, sort of put the pieces together and build him into this specimen that I would like for him to be. When a man comes to me fucked up, I send him back into the world fucked up. It is not my job to fix him. It is not my job to repair him. This is not Mako. I'm not a body shop. I'm not putting you back together. Find some other girl to do that, because she does not do that. So that's about it. I don't even know what to title this video, you guys. This is just something that was just on my spirit, since he just sent me this message talking about how much he misses me and wants to come back into my life. And I'm thinking to myself, probably a lesser woman would be inclined to just open up the doors and let him come back. He's super attractive. Oh my God, he's so cute. Don't judge me. I don't judge you. Don't judge me. He's super cute, but that's not enough. Cute doesn't pay the bills. I can't go over to the rental office on the first of the month and say, hey, I don't have that rent, but my man is super cute. They don't want to hear any parts of that. So super cute just does not cut it for me. Step up to the plate, be a whole man, not a half a man. And when you're a whole man, we can talk. But until then, you can give the bits and pieces to the dogs, because I'm not here for your kibbles and bits. Okay? All right, with that being said, you guys, it's me, the Cerebral Diva. Have a fantastic day. Make sure you find yourself a whole man. But while you're looking for a whole man, make sure you're a whole woman, because that's part of it too. You must be a complete woman to attract a complete man. My phone's ringing on cue. As always, in closing, remember to live better, love harder, and think smarter. It is me, the Cerebral Diva, and I will talk to you guys again soon.